let's let's get started. All right, guys. So it's 6. Excuse me. Sometimes when I talk too much, this is where I'm at. So here we are. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson, and I want to thank you guys for being here. I am so grateful for all of you and your presence. As you all know, I love you very much, and that you are all perfect exactly where you are, how you are in this now space, time and space reality right now, every day. I know stuff comes up and then we start wondering what's wrong with us and what's going on. And I like to start the calls to remind you that you're perfect. Okay. So I also want to start the calls. I'm going to start having the calls with my guided messages first. And then don't think that I'm dropping off of the planetary update, but I like you guys to see what I'm downloading is actually matching with what you guys were bombarding my phone with today and what the planets are shifting into as well. So I'm going to start with the messages from my guides. And actually today it was Zed specifically. He was talking to me. And it was interesting because the message was freedom is your frequency. Now, when I get messages, when I do the downloads and when I go do automatic writing every time I do my books, anything I download, it's all automatic writing. And when I go, it's more of symbolic, right? So there's pictures and stories and I'm interacting. And there was a ladder, and the ladder was like of rainbow rungs. Okay. And it was getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, but it was the entire grid. It wasn't just one ladder, but I was just fixed in one section, and the grid kind of was lighting up at each frequency, which was a different feeling or a different experience. So what you experience is your frequency match. It was the best way I could explain it. It was like, okay, this is where you feel this. This is where you feel that. There was no higher or better. None were better. None were worse. It was only the feeling in the air, kind of the vibration, right? And so was it light? Was it soft? Was it, softer? Was it fuller? Was it thicker? It was kind of that experience. And so that's why I wanted to make the call tonight on your frequency. Freedom is your frequency, because I think that's a big thing that's coming up in the last 2 years, right? Which is freedom. And we get so tripped up on the minutia because we've been programmed that way for so long. And what happens is we forget that we're human beings, but we're actually energetic souls that came into this body, 3D form, right? And so we're here to rise up, which was that spiritual poverty I've been pounding you guys, but not just spiritually, eradicating mental, physical, and spiritual poverty, right? This poverty mindset is the surviving we talked about last call and the call before, not thriving. That whole not having enough, just making it, just getting by. That's what we've been talking about. There is nothing, you guys, nothing that you wish for, okay, that is not already inside of you. Nothing. And when you're on the grid and you're looking down, you're like, oh, I can have it there. Your mind already knows. The DNA already knows, right? So healing is in an abundance in your DNA. This DNA in your spine, in your cerebral spinal fluid. You just need to remove all that is blocking you from utilizing your gifts. It's that basic, right? So y'all have to start becoming like this demolition specialists, right? To remove boulders that aren't yours, that are blocking you from freedom. Most boulders in your way aren't yours. Someone just put them there to make you think that they're yours, right? So, excuse me, we talked about last time igniting DMT throughout the lungs. We'll talk another time about your pineal gland and the liver and that kind of stuff. But there are 3 locations mainly where DMT is located, but breathing is the fastest, easiest way to stimulate. So it's time to start igniting that DMT, the spirit molecule, right? It is inside of all of you. It's time for you to manifest like at a magnification of 100 times greater than you've ever dreamt that you could manifest. And this DMT molecule within all of us has the power to do this. And it's inside your DNA and is in every mammal on the planet, okay, on this earth. Remove all that is blocking you from accessing your manifesting power. It's time to start healing yourself. You are your own healers. That's hard for people to comprehend because you've been programmed that, again, don't get me wrong, doctors are healers, but they've been programmed a long time too, that there's only one pill, one magic wizard pill behind the curtain that can help you. And only they know about it. And this is thousands, I'm going back, way back, even before time, before written time, okay? Before documented, printed time. We have to open up to this DNA that you have been recycling through generations and lifetimes. You have free will to choose freedom in this society that you live in, because we're not going to get out of that. That's important. Or the matrix of control and fear. You have freedom. You have that freedom. What does it feel like right now to do that, right? What does it feel like to choose lighter energy? What's happening is a lot of you are feeling sad, maybe depressed, anxiety, nervousness, fear, all that stuff is coming up, right? And so when this stuff kind of comes up, it's okay. Why is it okay? Because these are old habits and old wizard programming and old energy that we just didn't know we were doing until all of a sudden we woke up and we're like, oh my gosh, you're just saying goodbye to that stuff. It's okay if it comes up. It won't last long if you look at it and go, oh, I'm feeling this. I'm not supposed to feel this. Oh, it's okay. I'm just going to say goodbye to that. You're saying goodbye to these survival frequencies. That's what's happening right now. That's why this is so good. So this good stuff, you guys, is surfacing right now. And it's as we speak, this energy is so powerful and surfacing to help us get to that next stage. Okay? That's where we're at. And so if you're feeling like that energy coming up or a lot of anxiety, again, it's showing up to get us to let go. No more if you start choosing you, right? I don't want that anymore. That's kind of what we're all starting to go, I don't want this anymore. Okay. So again, I just use medicine because it's easy, because it's been in the wizardry shows. Wizard of Oz. I got so many Wizard of Oz photos this weekend when you're laughing. It made me laugh. It made me laugh because I have these conversations with you guys, right? It's kind of like that thing. I had this conversation this weekend with a friend is, if the doctor won't give you the meds to heal, or they don't have the meds to heal, or they've run out of options, right? Find your own organic options. Choose all the options, not just one. That's giving you out of the one pill option, the pill population. If there's no toys that your kids can play with and you're like, nothing works and this isn't good for them, then teach them other life skills, gardening, cooking, researching. You be the teacher, teach them life. If your love life is lacking, right? Learn what healthy love looks like. Those are the things we're having to let go of. And it's kind of depressing, even though you don't want it, right? Are you miserable at work? Okay, then go research and find your passion. That's happening. We've been looking for it. Now we're like, oh, why am I feeling anxiety? Everybody's feeling it because they're like, I know I have to let go of this, but I'm not quite sure what the new looks like. It looks amazing, right? If you're not being free to live your life, that feeling of that, it's an illusion. Intention right now is your GPS's direction change. Okay. It's easy to get stuck in this surviving, you guys, and the surviving and criticizing or criticism of others. And then we start missing the blessings that are surfacing everywhere in this insanity. I'm seeing the blessings everywhere. And I'm watching people miss it because they're so frustrated with other people. So let's look at the blessings, right, that are happening. All right. I want you guys to see it. Okay. So the people whoever they may be, let's just not name names because I don't think there's a name that's right or wrong for this. The people right now that are breaking down the planet, okay, they are paving the way for you lighthouses, right? They're doing that for you. Those who are breaking things, the wizards, the people on the wizards shows, the wizardry out there, right? They are those who are breaking things, or the people that are out there, or they're burning down the system, shall I say, the boxes, are in fact helping humanity wake up. Okay, do they have your attention? Do they? I mean, think about this, guys. Ask yourself, do they have your attention? Because I sure, they've got my attention, right? And they don't have it at the level a lot of people are giving it to them from me. It's yin and yang in the most visual form you could ever ask for. That's what's happening. Okay, so the dark and the light are both visual right now. You can see it. It's very, very bright and extreme. Okay, and so it's the energy of each soul's contract and blueprint that's showing up. Just because it's not the soul contract of all of you, because you're showing up on the truth tribe, wanting to live truth and wanting to be in truth, judgment of those contracts that you don't like, of the burning, and burning, I'm just using the word burning, but breaking down, dismantling, stuff that we don't support, judgment will only pause your contract. You're all here as lighthouses. And so what's happening is it can start getting irritating, right? So you might be irritated. You might be uncomfortable. Sure, I get irritated sometimes at stuff. Just don't linger there. And someone's like, might be? Yes, you might be. So yes, you're going to get uncomfortable at some of this stuff. Don't linger there. Don't lounge there. That's lack of ownership of your lighthouse. Right? The universe is always showing you guys neutrality. And you can either swing the pendulum and try to argue about physics, which is an argument, by the way, you will not win. You will not win this physics, this argument, okay? Think about the opposite of the pendulum energetically, how it needs to find its way to the exact opposite of the spectrum until it loses momentum and it finds neutral, right? So here's the pendulum, and you're the lighthouse, and someone over here is burning down the house. So what do? We have to wait and allow energy to dissipate and get to neutral. That's where we're going. And it's very uncomfortable sometimes. And so, yeah, it might be uncomfortable. That doesn't mean you stop being a lighthouse. And so how do we stop and acknowledge some of this? Because it's really good, right? You can always ask yourself, what is the center for me? Where is neutral? Okay, how can I allow them to be them and still choose me? Energy doesn't lie, you guys. And I'm going to bring up the consciousness scale and the energy grid, the frequency grid in a little bit. I'm going to show you guys something. I just need to pull it up. But people and egos lie. That's what lies, okay? Energy doesn't lie. And so if we simply focus on the Aquarian energy of truth, it's coming. It's the vibration of the age of Aquarius is here. The generation of Aquarius is working its way in the next 18 months. And we have been feeling, I've told you all year, this trickling, pound, and poking of truth. You will expand and learn so that you can gather together and in acceptance and accept each other's gifts. But not non-truth. Non-truth won't make it. So every time you're trying to prove someone to be non-truth, even though their truth is to burn down the house, that means you're not in truth because it's not your truth. Leave it alone. Aquarius will reveal it all on its own. Whatever you're currently seeing, you're like, that's not true. It probably isn't. But you need to let it be true for someone else because they're the ones revealing non-truths. Applying yin and yang, truth to all yin and yang energies right now. That is where you can find simplicity. It's hard because everyone's like, well, I just don't understand. So we got to simplify all of this down a little bit. Apply it to the blessings of connecting. Let's go Aquarian, just simple Aquarius, okay? Apply it to the blessings of connecting. That's what Aquarius wants. It's the humanitarian of the collective, of community, of group collectives, future technologies. Technology is not bad if we're using it to support each other, to find other resources of healing in higher quantum fields that connect us instead of separate us, right? And instead of separating truth, the eccentric, oh, that's not good. Well, it's not always bad either. Different ways to see the quantum life force. Energy in the coming years, I'm telling you to all be prepared. Not in a negative way. This is exciting stuff. Energy in the coming years will be a collective free energy source. It will be. But we've been programmed by the wizards for so long to survive. You have no clue until you reach out of the box and go, okay, burn it all down. How do we go to higher source? Healing will be an infinite energy of collective tools, not just one pill from the unknown wizards. You have no idea where that pill came from. Haven't you ever asked yourselves those questions? This pill came from this doctor, from this pharmacy, back it up all the way to you have no idea who made that and where they made it from and where it came from. You believe because they told you, but do you know the truth? Came from a plant. And it got broken down into a petroleum instead of a plant. It's a plant base. It's how they know it works because thousands of years ago that we keep going back to, our Chinese medicine used thousands of years ago to work this out. They knew what worked. It's from a plant. There are higher and lower frequencies in all things. Some plants can kill you just by touching it, by consuming it. There's nothing that is only good and only bad. Remember, guys, that peace is an automatic state. Peace within yourself when truth prevails. So when the truth is inside of you and you know you're at peace no matter what storm's happening. So the easiest, I want you to think about this, like, what is the easiest way to understand truth? If that's just the topic right now, this is the simple question that can bring you guys more peace, okay, within. What consciousness is this at? So is this something that's upsetting you? Is it a spouse that's upsetting you? Is it a boss or coworker upsetting you? Is it a child? Is it something you've watched, especially the TV wizards? What consciousness are they at when they're putting fear into me and telling me to be fearful? What consciousness is that at? Fear, fear-mongering. That's not thriving. That's not telling you to thrive and how to break out of anything. That's not. It's okay if it's the same vibration as you or not. That's how you make this so simple. My free will is the choice to live free as, and as I taught you, courage and love is a very fast way to get there. Okay, hold on. I'm going to bring you guys up this scale. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Hold on a second. Y'all see this screen? Okay. All right, can y'all see my consciousness scale? Yeah? Okay. Okay, guys. So if you look here, okay, what do you see? I want you guys to check this consciousness scale, all right? Check it out and look at yourself. I have shared with you guys, my background is kinesiology and physiology, yes? But there is a difference, okay? There's a difference in applied kinesiology, okay, and the study of kinesiology. And the study of kinesiology is muscle and the movement of the body. Okay. Although my degree is in the study of kinesiology, I am so partial to applied kinesiology as it is an easy tool to help you guys raise your consciousnesses, which is this. Applied kinesiology is muscle testing, okay? It's not something, I get it. I understand that you need to understand it's an energy tool so that the within the body is very visual for you to engage it, okay? So showing you what applied kinesiology is muscle testing. You can test it with your arm, you can test it with many ways. But basically what applied kinesiology is saying, look, your body can show you energetically, visually, that which makes your arm muscle go strong is truth, and that which makes your muscle go weak is false. That's basically what kinesiology, applied kinesiology is. Now, if you're not familiar with muscle testing, you can research this or read about Dr. David Hawkins, not the other Hawkins, but David Hawkins in his book, Power versus Force. I'm not going to get into that with you tonight. He muscle tested all consciousnesses of humanity to help explain that we vibrate at different frequencies and it is quantifiable, okay, by testing it through applied kinesiology or muscle testing. I muscle test everything, okay? I muscle test everything. Why? Because it's a lot easier. Dr. Hawkins was this renowned psychiatrist who pioneered energy testing and consciousness. So it was easy for us, right, to understand the quantum field in simplicity. That's why I bring this to you, right? So if you want to be neutral and in a neutral accepting frequency, when you have right here, neutrality at 250, our crucial point right here where the gray stops is 200. So above is power. All these energies from 200 up is power. Most people will not hit 500 to 540 in this lifetime because those at 540, 560, I think, is unconditional love. Most people won't. You think you are, but you lose just the experience of physical relationship love because you love everyone and everything, even death, right? Like all of it doesn't matter to you. So it takes a lot of people to be more of like an avatar to get past 560. But my point being is that all these energies we have to pay attention to. And so when you start looking at yourself and then you're forcing life down here or life is being forced on you down below the scale, what happens, right? Simply looking at going, okay, if I want to be in neutrality and acceptance of the world, which is where Dawn's trying to get me to open my mind and go, am I neutral with my pendulum swinging? Am I accepting with other people over here and just not expecting them to come to my side of the physics of the scale? Simply muscle testing this where you are and then make it your intention. Oh gosh, am I being too prideful and scorning people right now? Wow, no thanks. I'd like to get up to at least courage and neutrality. Now let's just say you don't know how to muscle test, because you probably don't. Simply ask yourselves, all of you right now, where am I on this list? And be honest. Where am I? Or where are they? Right? If you are all following what I teach you all in the Truth Tribe every weekend or I should say Monday, you are courage, 200. You are love at 500. I am courage. I am love into that, autonomic nervous system all day long. You're going to push yourself up over the grid. Right? And so when you start catching someone down below and you ask yourself, where are they? It becomes very visual, right? That bully that's out burning buildings and beating others, what frequency are they at? Look, what frequency is someone out provoking fear and creating anxiety? When the TV wizards are out there promoting fear and anxiety and grief and shaming you into doing things you don't want to do, that vibration is very low and very forced, right? A leader in their community, and they're lying to you. What frequency is that? Right? That's craving and scorning. What about someone that's using you? What frequency are they at? Someone who's deceiving you, what frequency are they at? Right? I want you guys to look at this now. Remember, this is on my website. So if you guys want to go on there, it's in the free tools as well as member tools. Okay. I'm going to stop the share, but I want you guys to look at this and understand that anything below this consciousness doesn't make it good or bad. What I'm trying to teach you guys is that this is a difference in mindset. Okay. What I want the question to ask yourself, okay, when I look at this consciousness scale, okay, and someone's down at fear mongering, or they're angry and they're hateful, okay, and the question is not, is that behavior okay if they're hateful and they're shaming and they're blaming? Is that okay? No, it's not about being okay or not okay. If the question is, will you stay at your high frequency as a lighthouse or not? Okay. Will you attend that party of a lower frequency? And if so, when you go to that lower frequency party, will you lower your frequency by trying to persuade them? Here's your pendulum. Persuade them over to a higher frequency, trying to raise them up. Right? So a good way to look at this, you guys, is think of a mountain lion. Okay. Mountain lion, I want to say they're probably around 100 to I don't know, 80 to 150 in there. Okay. We're just going to say they vibrate at 125. I haven't tested them recently, but in one of his books, it's low. Why? Okay. So if a mountain lion is vibrating at 125 at that craving, okay, so it's that desire and craving. What is it desiring and craving? Rabbits to stay alive, right? And so here you come along, the human, trying to persuade it and bring it from over here to desire and craving rabbits to stay alive, and telling it, look, I want to talk to you about understanding. I'd like you to understand that I'm not a rabbit. And that, you know, I just would like you to know it's okay for you to starve to death because I'm not a rabbit. So I need you to understand that so you don't eat me. What do you all think's going to happen? Right? The lion's going to understand, or are you going to die? Likely you're going to die because you walked into the lion's den and said, please don't eat me. I'd like you to understand I'm not a rabbit. If the lion's vibrating there, the lion doesn't care. I need you guys to understand, if the frequency is where something, any consciousness of the vibration of everything on this planet has consciousness, is the frequency going to matter to that lion who only knows one way to live, which is to be at 125? It doesn't care that you try to explain it to it. It will still eat you to stay alive and move on to the next rabbit. The frequency of your consciousness is all that matters. And total acceptance, wherever you are, is what eliminates fear. Fear of where they're at, fear of what the environment is, fear of all of it, going, okay, that's where your consciousness, you're a lion, you like rabbits, I'm not a lion, I think I'll leave this environment. So the simplest approach, okay, this is the best way I can give it to you, is to not be interested in others' frequencies and to accept theirs for their soul contracts high as good. So when you see their energy is for them, let's just say someone's right now just below 200 and you wish they could go up, but they're too super prideful. They're too proud to tell you that they're wrong. And so they're going to scorn you and treat you with scorn. Okay. Just let's stick right below 200 consciousness, right? When you see their energy is for them, you will be in acceptance. Even if you love them and wonder why they're being weird today, which is what my phone was blowing up about all day. It's like, why is everybody being so weird? Because your consciousness is getting revealed right now. And you're seeing people at the edge of 200 scorning and prideful and angry and hating their lives because they don't want to let go of that, but they know they have to. I received so many inquiries today. What was wrong? The question was, what's wrong with people today? That's their frequency that they're having a hard time letting go of. Simplest way to see all this, you guys, is A, get the map of consciousness if you care, just to understand and go, okay, so they're at this level. If you know how to muscle test them. And then when you see where their frequency is and going, well, I'm just not interested in that frequency because I choose love and courage. Okay? Okay, so let's match this to the planets. Consciousness is your freedom. You want to be free to live in neutrality and acceptance and love and courage. You want to live there, then you've got to keep your frequency there. And when the planets and the energy is shifting, you guys, I'm prepping you. Planetary update. Here we go. It is insane outside right now. So this week is a power week. Okay. So this is what's going on. Let's start with today. Okay. Actually, yeah, let's start with yesterday. Jupiter went retrograde. Okay. So it's going to head backwards back into Aquarius where it started. Okay. It's going to go backwards into Aquarius. It moved into Pisces for a little bit. It's going to go back into Aquarius after it had expanded our minds in Pisces to saying, where are you going to thrive long term? I asked all of you that. So when Jupiter goes back into Aquarius, it can be about technology and scientific data and saying, what are we going to expand here as a group consciousness? Jupiter is about including everyone to find a consensus for truth, not just the powers that be that tell you what the one answer is going to be. It won't be that way anymore. Jupiter will be guiding all of us to find ways to include the entire world in matters of global population, the collective I've taught you about, in raised consciousness, lighthouses, more lighthouses, okay? That was yesterday. Jupiter went retrograde, okay? Today is the summer solstice, longest day on the planet, okay? Tomorrow, get ready, guys. This is a good one. Mercury retrograde goes direct. It's out of retrograde tomorrow, okay? It's going to lessen each day, but remember, there's still a shadow window after it. So if something trips up on you, not a big deal. Don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? If things are slow in their movement forward, glitches appear, they will unravel organically. Don't take it personal, okay? That's Mercury retrograde going out. I was very happy about this because today everything kind of started locking back in. All my links were working. So I wasn't taking it personal. On Thursday, full moon in Capricorn. Okay, 3 degrees of Capricorn, by the way. If you know your astrology chart, you know your natal chart, you know where Aquarius or Capricorn sits, go look for 3 degrees of Capricorn, and that's where the full moon will hit your chart, affecting you a little bit more in that area. It's a super full moon, and full moons rule closure. Okay, so Capricorn, being closure, rules career, foundation, security, success, our external aspirations, where we want to succeed. Okay, so guidance for this larger than life moon is to be courageous. I am courage. Dive deep, you guys, into your thriving aspirations, your intentions. But the big thing about Capricorn, it's an earth sign, it's grounded sign. It wants to climb one step like a goat at a time. Remain mindful of what you want rather than emotional. That's the difference. The moon is about emotions, but we have to be mindful about what we want and very clear. So clear the emotions that can get done with breathing. Okay, I brought this up to you last time. Again, try the DMT breathing. Remember? Breathing in beauty, in your heart. This is the heart breathing. DMT breathing is, remember, we're going to breathe in beauty. Breathe in pink hearts. In for 10. Hold it. Hold it for 10. And then breathe out for 10. Breathing out those 10 hearts for others. Okay. This is about bringing clarity into your life and then believing that you are thriving. Do not negotiate. Do not go backwards. Do not pass go. You just are clear. Okay. Then on the 25th, Neptune goes retrograde. It was going forward. Okay. This is one of the very special days because Neptune is about creativity and Pisces and expanding our minds and our beliefs. So this day of the full moon, and then the day before Mercury does this, and then, I'm sorry, Neptune, and then the day of is about releasing emotions, because Pisces rules emotions that have blocked you from your creative flow. Okay, so meditative journaling, writing, walking in nature, getting grounded. Grounding and water. Pisces rules water, Neptune rules water, the moon rules water. Grounding, I cannot be more firm about grounding and water. Grounding and water. Get grounded to the earth and put as much charged water that you can into your body right now. So, so important. Okay. This is all triggering this Aquarian energy, you guys, about truth. Where do you fit in and thrive the most? Where do you fit in to expand? What is the freedom for you? Where is freedom versus control for you? Freedom is your frequency. And this is revealing how invested you are in living in that new community where you are free to be you. Could be a group of people, could be one person, could be a new career, it could be, I have friends who just literally been quitting their jobs left and right and like, I'm out. I'm like, good job, you know. It is about all kinds of freedom. Is it your health freedom? Is it your travel freedom? Is it your relationship freedom? Is it your career freedom? Is it an education freedom? Community? Ask and you'll receive basically like new GPS to thrive and the new coordinates. You will get that information, but you've got to set your intentions to a high frequency. In this new energy, you guys, it's starting to clear, and it's bringing clearing with this full moon on Thursday. It's a big full moon. It's a super full moon. Okay. So I'm going to put closure here. I'm going to finish up with the tips, and then I'm going to open up to Q&A as to any specific things, you guys, that are coming in specifically, okay, about these topics of frequency. Okay. So tonight's tip is your freedom is going to come with your frequency. You're going to be more restricted and controlled matrix energy the more you're in that forced energy down below. Okay. Your DNA, tip number 2 is your DNA within your DNA structure. You don't need to see it, you just need to know that it's there, is filled with abundant physical, mental, and spiritual energy, consciousness, field, vibrational frequencies. Okay. With no external, you don't need external. It's already there, but you've got to ignite it. Okay. Do that with tip number 3, expand your DMT breathing every day. If you can do it for a minute to 6 minutes, you will feel it. You'll feel high all on your own. You can heal yourself. You are your own healer when we start igniting our DNA with intention and breath and water and grounding. Okay, so our frequency shifting and it's testing and checking your own frequency. So when the frequency is shifting on the planet, all those planets I just told you day after day after day this week are shifting the frequency. Now add to it, you have solar flares taking place. You have the Schumann resonance spiking off the charts. You have all this consciousness vibration pounding the planet with higher vibrational frequencies. Then the planets are asking you to rise your frequency. They're asking you to purge all this stuff. Do y'all see why I'm talking about anxiety and nervousness? That's where it's coming from. So I need you to understand that some people don't want to accept this changing of their frequency. Thus, you need to accept them as a lion. You can't change their frequency. You can only change yours. So lose interest in theirs and their contract for that frequency. It's not your contract. Okay. Everybody right here. I am courage. I am love. I am courage. I am love. All right. So your challenge question for the night. I'm going to send you guys off. From this point forward, in about 2 weeks, starting in July, I'm going to turn off the live feed onto Facebook. So if you are on Facebook following me, love it. But this is where it'll be only for Zoom. The Zoom memberships will be able to tap in and ask Q&A sessions from this point forward. Okay, so this is where it will drop off. And those of you in the Q&A, we'll keep talking about the rest of it. If you want to join in, all you do is reopen up at ideserveitnow.com. log in on the Zoom call will get sent to you from the registration, and you're back into the call. You won't lose anything. Okay. So Q&A for this. Your challenge first. I want you guys to do a daily frequency self-check. Where is my frequency right now? Test yourself. It can be very, very basic. Am I in love or am I in fear? Am I a forced energy right now? Or I'm feeling forced to do something, or I'm forcing someone to do something I don't want or do want? Or am I in power and going, doesn't matter. I accept whatever this is because I want to be the light, not the dark. Okay. So let's open Q&A. What frequencies of consciousness are you guys catching, experiencing, hanging out with, watching, upset with, frustrated, disappointed with? Which ones are you picking up? Okay. What are you seeing? So I'm going to throw that at you for the Q&A session right now. And what are you picking up? So let me see what questions are coming in here. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Hold on a second. All right. So if we have family in lower frequencies, so this, okay, I figured this would come up. If we have family in lower frequencies, how do we adapt and stay light? Okay, guys, this is very hard. This is very hard, but I want you all to understand something. When I bring up soul contract, I mean you have a soul contract, okay? So if you have contracted and you're on this Truth Tribe call and you're in to live your highest truth, okay? Your lighthouse doesn't move. It does not become a boat. And we'll just assume the boat is a lion boat, okay? Your lighthouse is steady and it stays neutral in accepting their frequency. The simple answer is, okay, when they're yelling at you, complaining, criticizing, critiquing, priding you, scorning you, whatever it is, okay, and walk away. Or, okay, thanks, and walk away. Have a great day. The reason I say that is because you would never go up to the lion and keep trying to prove to the lion it's going to understand you're not a rabbit. Same with the boats. Okay? You have to stop explaining to the boats what it's like to be a lighthouse because they don't get it. And if you keep trying to harass them because you want them to be where you are, you're saying you're not good enough. You're not doing it fast enough to grow and be light. That's not true. You don't feel that way, but you want to get them to hurry. So that's uncomfortable. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Let me see. You guys are bringing them in. Please address a determined tiger frequency when low is surrounding us. Okay. As much as a lion in the family, and let's just say there's 4 lions in the family, and they're all hell-bent on wanting it to be this way, and they're going to tell you, they're going to stick in lion frequency, in desire and craving. I desire, or I am angry and I'm hating everybody, or let's just keep it at pride, a proud lion, okay? And I'm going to scorn everybody for not following the wizards. Okay, follow the wizards. You might lose them. They might be fighting each other. They might be fighting the lion den to be able to be in charge of the lion den. Get out of the lion's den. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable, but it's going to be silence for you, maybe for extended periods of time. But that means silence for you to hear who you are, because your light needs to change too. All right. And so that's a hard place to be, but it's also lightening you up on the scale. Your vibration of being the light when they're in this place, don't bet your booty that they're not seeing it and wondering. They will come there if you don't try to explain to them and try to explain to them to understand why they need to get where you are. They'll just get there. Okay? How do you remain patient when everyone is so slow? Okay. Who says they're slow? Maybe we're just in a different vibe. Remember I taught you guys that there are no two different planets. Everybody keeps going, the new earth, the new earth, the new earth. The new earth is not new. It's not something different. It's still this earth. It's just on a higher vibration. Some of these people, I want you to explain. I was explaining this to my husband, okay? I want you to imagine if you are all in this tribe, you're all in the play, right? You're all on stage, but each of you have your own show that you are the lead actor. You're the light. You're the one that's the brightest, the loudest, you sing the best. You are the best actor on stage. Some of those small parts back in the back are extras, just to take up space in this movie. Some of the people you think are slow may never catch up. My point is that's neutrality and acceptance. You've got to allow them to not catch up. The ones who want to will slowly come into the light. Those who don't want to, we have to stop telling them to hurry and catch up. Okay, so that's a hard thing to be at if you're just as much, what's happening is you're not neutral. You're way over here thinking these people are way over here. And the answer is you just got to get to here and they will catch up to the middle, not all the way to the extreme. Okay, it's easy to say accept low frequency when you are your kids too. I don't want them to think they aren't good enough either as well. Oh, yeah. So see, again, this is judgment. This is judgment when we think we need to explain to them how to, your light is not bad. We have to explain to them that your light isn't trying to make them feel bad. I didn't tell you to change being the light. I just said, don't hang out with a lion who's hungry for rabbits. And if you're in between you and the rabbit, get out of the way. Let the lion go get the rabbit. The lion will stop craving rabbits when it decides to not be a lion anymore. When the boat decides to get to shore and that human gets out of the boat and gets onto shore and walks into the building of the lighthouse. It says, oh, this is kind of nice. We are so intent on trying to explain to people what? Explain to them how to understand what it's like to lighten up. You don't need to explain to them. I promise the universe will take care of it for you. So it might be kind of quiet for a while. You might be kind of lonely for a while. Loneliness is good. It helps you start to realize where you have to fill in and integrate back into your space. Integrate where you're not igniting your DNA. Integrate where you might take a lot more walks because the lions at home are all raging and yelling and arguing, or the boats are crashing into bumper boats. And you're trying to explain to them, don't do that. They don't need to. Let them crash. Nothing is going to be detrimental, guys. I promise we're going to the light. We're lightening up. Okay? This is so much lighter than you think. And what's happening is when we keep looking at them and wanting them to be where we are, it means when you're wanting someone to come over here because you don't want them to feel that they're insecure. Sometimes people need to feel insecure to get to the middle. You're not trying to get them all the way over. You're just getting to the middle. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. If I am low myself, how can I raise my own consciousness level? Okay. This is a really good one because what happens when you're struggling, when you have a low day and you dip? Remember I told you we're not always going to be up. We may stay there quite a bit, but then we have a day where we drop for a moment. Okay. Fill yourself, body, mind, and spirit. Okay. Fill your body with structured water. Fill your mind with high frequency content, videos, music, discussions. When people are talking down and negative, move away. Learn to expand your connection to spirit in your breath, your DNA breath, your DMT breath. Simple things actually do much more over time, you guys, than blowing it and going, I've got to be love and reason and understanding and forgiveness to everybody. You might not for a while, But your intention to just be courage and just be love will help you every day going, but if I'm courageous enough to love my body, if I'm courageous enough to love my mind, if I'm courageous enough to love my spirit, every single day, your vibration will rise and you will be uncomfortable. And most of you in this call are probably not just lighthouses right now, but a bit of a strobe light, which is why you're uncomfortable with everyone around you, because they have a hard time looking at you, talking to you about it, even being in your space. Why? Because you're like irritating them. Why? Because they don't want to let go. They're having anxiety and anger and distress because they have to let go of surviving. Does that make it wrong? No, it just is where they're at. Okay. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Does that help? Does that make sense of where I'm trying to get you guys to understand this a little bit further? Okay. I'm trying to help you guys see past the judgment and past the why can't they get better? Because they may not be ready. They have not done something that has gotten to them that next level. Most people consciousness shifts through two things: patterning of paradigm shifting and through a paradigm of trauma. And again, I've told you guys, I do not wish trauma on anyone, but it happens because your soul contract came in to learn something. You're off track, your GPS shifted a little bit in your boat, and bam, you get hit and you have to get back on track. And that boat, when it drifts a little bit and you get pulled back on track and you're pissed because something bad, you call it bad. I don't call it bad. I call it wake up. You've gotten woken up. And getting past judgment is huge. Yes, someone said getting past judgment is huge. It is so difficult because we want to judge people for what they're doing. And we're like, oh, I can't believe they did that. You don't get to judge them because their soul contract may have included that. You don't know their karma. You don't know past lives. You don't know what they're here to do. And you don't know why they chose to be a lion and eat you as a human this time around. Because some have. It's very hard to wrap our brain around. Now, here's the big tip. Don't participate in that party. Don't go to the boat party when you're a lighthouse. So I'm trying to simplify this for you as much as possible. Stop trying to participate in understanding why they are where they are. And just understand it's part of their contract. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be anything other than you being the lighthouse, what your intention is. And then understand that someone doing something you don't like, they made a contract to be in that consciousness of vibration. That's their frequency. That is freedom to them. So imagine someone at the lowest level of shame and humiliation, and they move up to just being afraid and anxiety. They've raised their vibration. They've raised their frequency. So for you to judge them from there to there is kind of being unfair. And it drops your consciousness and it drops your frequency. Does that make sense? So we have to stick in our frequency and stay there. So I'm asking you guys to choose freedom within. And get out of what happens and go manifest at the biggest thriving level you possibly can. We're going unicorn status. Remember that, guys. Okay? So I'm going to throw you guys something. You guys know how to find me, texting, emailing, all versions, right? If there are topics you guys want me to talk more on, I'm happy to do that because they come into my phone most of the week. Just message me and I'll cover them and I'll drop them in so you don't have to wait or hope, right? You guys be very intentional. This is what this moon is this week. That's why I'm bringing it up. Okay. And because really quick, I brought it up at the beginning of the call. Yes, I had a Mercury retrograde glitched like crazy this month. It glitched all my auto links, by the way, on my website, on my app, everything just kind of glitched out. So I think we got it updated today. I think we got everything cleaned up. And so, by the way, those of you who have registered on my website, if you are not registered there and you go try to do it, re-register in the Truth Tribe and or the I Deserve It Center, because the replay is there. When people are asking me, I did move most of the old YouTubes. So if you're looking for them, they're in a playlist on the replay page on my website, ideserveitnow.com, or my name, DawnThompson.com will get you there. And if you're a member and you want to go watch a past, or you want to watch one that you've missed, log into ideserveitnow.com, open tools at the top, just hover over it on the main menu, okay? And it'll say member access. If you're a member of Truth Tribe or you're a member of the I Deserve It Center, the link will show up, click on it, and then if you just click on the Truth Tribe membership link, it's right there. It'll pull you right into the replay pages in the center and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So it's all there. Okay. So if you need it, just let me know. Save the link right now for easy access so you can find it if that's where you want to get to your replays. Okay. Okay. Next, another question came in. Why is everyone jumping ship? Why aren't we not supposed to make big decisions during Mercury retrograde? Oh, what's very cool about this is, don't you think jumping ship is a big decision? Because jumping ship is actually a great decision. Jumping ship to move, jumping ship to get out of a career that doesn't serve your higher consciousness anymore, doesn't serve your neutrality anymore, doesn't serve you to have courage in your real higher truth at this next version. Is this in my highest good? So jumping ship doesn't necessarily mean negative. It actually can mean lovely, wonderful, brilliant. Yes. Aren't we supposed to lay low during Mercury retrograde? Actually, you don't have to lay low on Mercury retrograde. What you have to be, this is a good question. So most people think we're supposed to just slow down and pause. My suggestion on Mercury retrograde when it happens is, instead of laying low, be okay with slow. It's not about doing nothing. It's about accepting that you're going to have to be a little bit slower in your pace. A lot of people are wired tight. They're running like, a million miles an hour. And so the point being is that Mercury retrograde typically will open us up to pay attention to the details a little bit more that we may have missed. So instead of going, I really actually, if I look at the details, I really don't like where I live. And if I lay it out on paper, this place isn't as nice as this place. So I think I'm going to jump ship from that one and go to this one. It gave you time to lay out the details. So you went slow, not no. So as I keep telling you guys, why do I feel so energized? Because this new energy, you guys, if you've opened up to your lighthouse, what happens? All this energy that's coming out on the planet, you're opening up to and going, okay, I'm ready to go to this higher vibration. If you make the intention, you got to be open to it and go, all right, it's time. All right. Jupiter retrograde is going to last a while, till October. Okay. And then it's going to move back out again. So retrogrades don't mean negative, guys. Again, retrograde is just, it's having us look backwards and say, how do we want to apply that energy? And Jupiter is about expansion, reevaluating who we are. Where do we want to expand out into the masses of Aquarius? How do you want to help the people around you? It could be a family masses, right? Doesn't matter where it is. And so those of you who are paying attention, you'll say, okay, how am I being impacted right now? Where am I being asked to change and open and see things? There are some things about my health. Again, so think of it this way, okay? Some people, I'm loving the retrograde. Me too. I love the retrograde because I changed a ton of links and fixed all this cool stuff on my website. I didn't fight it this time. I was like, all right, I'll go. It was really great. So I got a lot of stuff really cool and cleaned. It helped me, okay? The other thing about this stuff is that you can go body, mind, and spirit, where I asked you guys to look at your poverty level, right? Where you have looked at your own life. And this is my last kind of review on this call, and then I'm going to close it out so we're on time. I'm extremely spiritual, extremely into healing the self-help and self-development. Okay. So I am very advanced in healing the mind and talking to spirit and advanced spiritual healing tools, spiritual technology. But guess what I neglected? Physical poverty, physical body stuff, paying attention to my physical body and letting it go into a poverty state of survival. I wasn't giving it at the most thriving level of healing. And so now when pain is popping up in different ways, I don't mean like I'm dying of pain, but just different things that I had to deal with in my physical beingness are now surfacing. And I'm going, okay, can I sit with it? What is it telling me? What is it saying to me? What does it want me to learn? What does it want me to experience? What does it want me to thrive and feel better at? What is important to me? What is my intention? What frequency do I want my body to live at? It was at 80 for a long time in grief and regret. That was going to do my body no good to heal there. I have finally pushed into courage, and now the body's going, you have courage. You have courage. And it'll dip into pride and go, or scorning myself of like, you should know better. I don't want to scorn myself anymore. I want to get back up. So I have to work harder on the physical poverty. Some of you are going to have to work harder on the mental poverty, filling in beautiful content into your brain. Some of you are going to have to work harder on spiritual poverty. It's where you have to look at your frequency where you want to be free. That's it. And on that note, we're going to close out because I'm at 7:01. Guys, I will be sending you out a video next week because I will be on an airplane traveling. So look for the video. It will be posted. It'll go out in an email. If you're not registered, you may not get the email. So let me know if you don't get it. If not, I will post it on the Truth Tribe link on my website so you can go look at it for next week on the replay page, on the replay button. It will be sitting there for all of you to find. So if you want to go see next week, I'm going to post a pre-recorded video for you, and it's going to be a surprise. So I will see you guys next week. Brightest blessings. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.